All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. So excited that y'all are all here. My name is Mr. Uminski. By show of hands, who has not had a class with me before in the past? Oh, I love it. That's so exciting. Okay. So for those of you who have had me in the class before, I'm going to go through a little bit of my background, just kind of the introduction. And and then we'll kind of get into our normal first day of class stuff that we're going to kind of go over. And then we're going to do some introductions. We'll do some activities. And then we're going to go try to get through chapters 1 and chapter 2 today. I know it's a lot of information, but I'll explain why when we go over our course calendar, okay? So just a little bit of background about me. My background in education, I was a student at St. Philip's College. I graduated from Judson High School in 2000, and I decided I wanted to pursue culinary arts. So I did for a year. And then in that year, I chopped the tip of my thumb off in my basic food prep class, and I zested my middle finger. And I thought, culinary arts really isn't for me. I want to keep all my digits intact. And so I decided to take 1 year off. And then that 1 year turned into 3 years, which then turned into 7 years. And then I finally came back to St. Philip's College. I switched my major to hotel management, so I didn't lose any of the classes I had taken as a culinary major. Finished hotel management in 2009. And then in 2010, 1 year later, actually it was 3 semesters, so maybe it was 2011, but I finished the hospitality event management degree. We no longer offer that degree, but event management really is the focus of my industry career. The time that I spent as a professional in the hospitality industry, post school was focused in event management. And that event management degree was not around in 2000. So I'm very much a firm believer in things happen for a reason, and things happen in the time that it needs to happen, because I wouldn't be where I am today without my career in hospitality event management. After I finished that, I took a little bit of time, a little bit of a break, but then I ended up finishing my bachelor's degree from A&M San Antonio. It's a Bachelor's of Applied Arts and Science. It's called a BAS degree. And that BAS degree is what they do is they take a lot of your applied science credits. So like your lab classes, front office management, they apply that to a bachelor's degree. You take 12 classes with them and you have a bachelor's degree. So it's not quite a 2+2, but it's a bachelor's in business, but the focus in business management. Okay, it's a bachelor's of applied arts and science. And then that's not what I wanted to do. Move that up. And then while I was here at St. Philip's College, I was very much encouraged by my department chair, by my boss, to pursue a master's degree, which I never thought a master's degree was in my future. I finished that in 2020. I went to University of North Texas online, and I am currently halfway through my second course at Grand Canyon University, where I anticipate getting my doctorate of education in 2027. So back in 2000, when I cut the tip of my thumb off, like an associate's degree was the max for me back then. So it's pretty crazy to think 23 years later, I am now pursuing a doctorate degree. It's funny how life takes us in all different directions. Where's my... Sorry, technical difficulties. There we go. All right, so my industry experience, I worked as a front desk agent at the La Quinta Inn and Suites downtown, right across from HEB, where the new HEB is. Well, it's not really that new anymore. But at the same time as I was a student, I was doing my internship there. Oh, you got one already? Perfect. At the La Quinta Inn and Suites, I was also working a second job while I was in school at the Sheraton Gunther Hotel. I was at the restaurant called Barron's. It's no longer there. It's now called Market on Houston. But I was known as the singing waiter. Every time we were right across the street from the Majestic Theater, every time we'd have a show, I'd always offer my guests a song as they enjoyed dessert. And then from there, I worked at a place called Rio Cibolo Ranch. That was my practicum for my event management degree. I was there for the 16-week semester. I ended up being there for 4 years. I did corporate events and weddings while I was there, anywhere from 25 people on up to about 2,000 people. After working there for 4 years, it's family owned and operated business. So I kind of hit the ceiling. I couldn't go anywhere else up. And so I decided to, sometimes you either have to move up or move on. And so I decided to move on. And I went to a company called Adventures in San Antonio. They're a destination management company, so focusing more on the corporate side of, so I worked a lot with hotels as far as trying to get rooms for my groups, maybe if they had a restaurant, or if I would work with hotels that already had the group business, and then they needed offsite events. And the hotel didn't want to plan them, so they kind of, referred me, and I would help plan their offsite events, like taking the group to dinner or taking them to a shooting range, because we're in Texas, so why not shoot some guns while you're here and feel like, eat some barbecue, eat some Mexican food, and I've been to Texas. The other thing, I'll talk about my associations in a moment. One of my other jobs was at the Acadia Institute of Oceanography. That's a summer job that I enjoyed up in Maine. I was there from 2007, 8, and 9, and then 15, 16, 17, 18. So 7 years total. And I was the head cook for about 60 people a day. I prepared breakfast and dinner for 60 people a day at a summer camp. How many of you, because you are all either hotel management or hospitality management majors, correct? Okay. How many of you realize that you're going to have to cook during your time here at St. Philip's? How many of you did not realize that? Okay, awesome. So you do have to, if you are going to go for the full associate's degree, then you will have to take basic food prep, and you will have to take professional cooking dining room service. Okay, just the first 2 lab classes. That's it. Once you get those done, no more. Okay, but the reason behind that is because a lot of hotels, especially if they are full service hotels, they will have food and beverage outlets. They will have restaurants. They will have coffee shops. They will have catering, banquets, right? And so it's important for you to understand, at least have a basic understanding of what that entails while you are here at school. So you're gonna get that basic introduction, but nothing really more beyond that, okay? But I did utilize that. I did utilize that in my experience at the Acadia Institute of Oceanography. I had to plan menus. I had to budget. I had to order my food. I had to prepare the food. I had to work around dietary restrictions. So if somebody came in with a gluten allergy, I could not use a roux to thicken my soups or my sauces, right? So I had to figure out, oh, what else can I use? Cornstarch. That's great. That's pretty simple. Well, then guess what? Next couple of weeks later, I have a student who has a corn allergy. So I can't use cornstarch. I have to go back to using roux, right? Flour and butter. And so utilizing that. And also, these kids were paying, like, this was back in 2018. I think they were paying like $2,600 for a 2-week camp, right? I can't be serving them casseroles every single night. That'd be very cost effective, but it really wouldn't be all that great, right? And so I wanted to make sure that I kind of put a little bit of more culinary and side into the food and not just typical camp food. Then lastly, my association involvement. If you don't know me yet, you will learn very quickly. Am I sharing my screen? There we go. Sorry about that. You will find out very quickly that I love to be active in our industry. You get out of our industry what you put in. And so I love to be active. I am a board member for the San Antonio Hotel Lodging Association, that's SALA. San Antonio Visitor Alliance. Those are two associations that I'm a board member for. The HEAT is the Hospitality Educators Association of Texas. It's all the high school programs across the state that offer culinary and hospitality programs. And I am currently the president of that association. And then the Alamo Area Hospitality Association, AHA, is one of the associations that really is kind of near and dear to my heart. In 2008, I was a student at St. Philip's and I earned that $500 scholarship to help pay for school. In 2014, so 6 years later, I was the president of the association. Because I was so involved, people encouraged me to get more involved and serve on the board. And then I moved up to be the president in 2014 and was able to give that scholarship back to St. Philip's. So it's a very full circle organization for me. I actually just recently got nominated and voted to be the 2023 vice president because we had a vacancy, which means I will be the 2024 president again. So I'll be the president again for the second time of that association. So it's really exciting. Again, you get out of it what you put in to our industry. Classroom expectations. Our class is Thursday only. Okay. It is a double block. That's why it's 10:45 to 1:30 because it's basically a double block class because we only meet one day a week. And so the reason why I did that is because if we met 2 days a week and we'd meet for an hour and 15 minutes each day, well, that's not enough time for us to go out and do a field trip at a hotel. That's really in depth, right? So by doing a double block, we do have some hotel field trips planned. I'm still working on trying to get the details and confirm the locations. But we will have some hotel visits where we actually will go into the different hotels and we will do a behind the scenes tour, talk to the management team, get to know a little bit more about that property and whatnot. And so that's what's down here by site visits with the participation. While we are in class, this is a management course, okay? How many of you have ever worked in the back of the house, behind the scenes at a hotel or restaurant or really anywhere, right? What's the difference in the quality of language from front of the house to back of the house? Sailors and saints. I like that. I've never heard that before. Emilio, what are you gonna say? Yeah, absolutely. So front of the house, you have more interaction with the guests, right? And the back of the house, it's maybe a little bit more casual because you're conversing with your team members and your coworkers, right? So we are a management class where this is front office. So I'm going to ask ask that you always use appropriate business language in here, okay? So please don't swear and don't use that kind of language. I know it happens. If it slips out, it's okay, but just try your best not to use that so casually in here. For each chapter that we go over, there's going to be a chapter quiz, okay? And that chapter quiz is comprised of questions that will be on your final exam. So it's basically those questions will make up all the questions from all the quizzes will make up your final exam. Okay. We will also have an in-road property management system. One of the really unique things about this classroom is this wonderful mock front desk we have right over here. Okay. So this mock front desk, I'm going to send out now that I have the first day of class behind us in this afternoon. I will send all of your emails and your names to the Inroad company. So you'll get an email from on your student email address of how to log in and access. So you each will have your own login to a virtual 700 room hotel. Okay. And so we'll practice making reservations. We'll practice moving guests around. Okay. And then as soon as we do those assignments on your own, Then either the next class or the following class after that, we're going to come in and we're going to do some role play and practice checking in, checking out, and doing it here at the front desk. Okay. But you can go in and you can do whatever you want. It is exactly like what you would find at a hotel, with two exceptions. The payment processing is turned off, so we can't charge anybody's Visa card or MasterCard, okay, or American Express. And the other thing is that the OTAs are turned off. Does anybody not know what I mean by OTAs? Okay, awesome. OTA stands for online travel agents. So things like Expedia, Hotwire, Priceline, those are all OTAs. Because what I don't want is for someone to make a reservation on Orbitz for St. Philip's College Hotel when there is obviously no hotel here. So we've turned those two things off, but everything else is exactly what you would experience when you are behind the front desk of a hotel. So there are specific assignments that are built into that, and I'll show you that in Canvas. All right, fill in the blank. I currently work in the hospitality industry. I'm excited to work in the hospital, or I've never worked. You can do 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. Currently work. I'm excited to work. Never worked. I see a lot of 1s, some 2s. Any 3s out there? 3s? Okay, excellent. Good, good. All right. In our introductions, we'll kind of get to know each other a little bit better with these 3 things in mind. All right. What do you think? I will be sent home from a field trip if I am not dressed professionally. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. The answer is 1. Okay. Now, I'm not asking you to wear a suit and tie. Ladies, I'm not asking you to wear a business suit or a dress. Okay. You can wear a skirt. You can come in khakis and a button and a polo shirt. I would say probably anything with a collar on it. Okay. So khakis and a polo is about as casual, business casual as I would prefer. Okay. If you want to get dressed up, great. This is a great opportunity for you to meet different industry professionals. Maybe potentially if you do a tour of the hotel and you love it, maybe you can possibly get a job there. And now you have that connection with that person and you've made a good impression, hopefully, by attending that field trip and dressing professionally, okay? We do have in this closet over here, we do have some professional attire that has been donated to our programs. There's more women's professional attire than there is men's professional attire at this point. We're still working on kind of beefing that up. But if you need help building your professional wardrobe and you want to go pick out an outfit, if it's something in there fits you, you can take it, it's yours, and just take it home with you, okay? But polo shirt, button-down shirt, a nice blouse, okay? Anything that's just kind of more just professional attire. And the reason why I do that is because we do take a group picture at every single hotel. And I share that picture with Dr. Lawston, the president of St. Philip's. I don't want her to ask me why our students are wearing shorts and jeans when we're out representing St. Philip's College, okay? So any questions about that? Yes. Yes, anytime we have a field trip. Yep, in class, it doesn't matter, okay? You can come dressed casually in class, that's totally fine. There may be a few times where we have guest speakers, and if that's the case, I will give you plenty of notice, at least a week's notice, so you can plan ahead for that. And then I would ask that you dress professionally for that time as well. Yes. Yes. Well, it will be during our class time. Our hotel visits will always be during our class time. Yep, between 10:40. I typically do our hotel visits from 11 to 1 o'clock. Okay, sometimes they take all 2 hours, sometimes they only take an hour, right? But I typically give the hotel the option to use 11 to 1 o'clock. That gives us time, like if you're in Mr. McNair's class before this, then it gives you time to get out to the hotel. And then also by ending at 1, it gives us time to get back to campus if you need to get back to campus, okay? Got to be respectful of that, yes. No, you drive there. Yeah, you drive there. I don't really have any way to coordinate transportation. If you need help with that, maybe we can talk with your classmates and maybe carpool. Okay. Anytime we go to a field trip, I will post the directions. I will post the address. I will post where I recommend that you park. Okay. Just be aware that Mr. Minsky is cheap and I will walk a couple extra blocks. And also, my car is never really clean enough to park valet. I'm always embarrassed. And so I typically will park a few blocks away if it saves me a few bucks on parking. So you can park wherever you want, but I will give you recommended places to park for those field trips. Sometimes, if it's a larger hotel, especially in the downtown area, they may potentially offer complimentary valet or discounted valet for us. But I will give you all those details as soon as I organize them and confirm all of them. And then if you do, I always will drive from St. Philip's. Okay. So if maybe you have the map, but you don't really trust yourself driving downtown and you want to follow me, that's totally fine. You can always meet here and then we can caravan over there to wherever the hotel is. Okay. Any questions? Yes. We'll talk about that as a class to see about if there's any specific hotels. I've already reached out to a couple of them, but we can also take recommendations as well. All right. So introductions. It's gonna take a little bit since there's quite a few of us. So tell us your name, what your major is, where you're working right now, and or your ideal job. Okay. It could also be that you can tell me where you're working, but your ideal job is in this whatever. Okay. And then because there is so many of y'all, this is literally the largest class I've had for front office management in all 8 years that I've been teaching. And so I'm interested to know about how you heard about the hotel and hospitality program specifically here at St. Philip's College. One accomplishment you did over the break, or maybe just one fun thing you did, and then a fun fact about you. Okay, so I'll go first. My name is Mr. Minsky. My major is a Doctor of Education with a focus in higher education leadership. I currently work at St. Philip's College. I'm doing my ideal job. I love it every single day. I love coming to work. I'll skip that one. Accomplishment over the break. I set a goal to get to the top of all 50 states before I turned 50 back in 2019. This summer I did 10 states on a 6,000-mile road trip in 17 days. And so that was really fun, a really great time. Fun fact about me, I have sung in the backup choir for Andrea Bocelli twice. All right. Who wants to go next? All right. There you go. My name is Matt. My major is hospitality management. I was working in Maryland, and I heard the this program in my high school because I didn't know college credit course. Which high school? Memorial. Okay, awesome. And then went to Costa Rica to celebrate my graduation. You're very boring. Awesome. Cool. How long have you worn glasses? Awesome. I've been there since 5th grade. No, I'm good right now. I have my contacts in. All right. So raise your hand if you want to go next. All right. The competition out there. This started to be better. We started December 2022. So I'm very excited. Nice. Where in Utah? Okay, so beautiful. Awesome. Excellent. All right. Raise your hand if you want to go next. Okay.